Hi all, greetings from the apocalypse. Today is Thanksgiving and I'm thankful for a lot, even despite the unbelievable, unrelenting fuckery of this year. I still have a lot to be grateful for. I'm doing nothing for the holidays but staying home and, eating. It's a favorite activity of mine. Anyway, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people are not getting together with loved ones and everything because of the pandemic. So this year's, different, a different kind of holiday. So if anybody has any jewelry questions or jewelry problems they want to dig into and distract themselves a little bit from whoever they might be missing, feel free to put them in the comments and we will hash through any of your thorniest jewelry problems. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit about what we did this week. We made a beautiful bezel for a stone and we're going to fuse it shut. So I'm going to demonstrate how to fuse 22 karat gold. Fusing is one of those techniques that you can really never see it often enough because it just takes practice to get good at it. I mean, I've done it a billion times at this point, so I don't really have to think about it anymore, but I had to really practice a lot to get to that point. So I hope you enjoyed the little mini visit into the studio this week. And please, like I said, if you need to be distracted and you have a jewelry issue you want to take up, reach out to me and we'll solve it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Okay, so we're getting ready to fuse this beautiful 22 karat bezel for that juicy, we'll show you the stone afterward. It's a juicy tourmaline pear-shaped pink. It's just like, it looks like a piece of candy. Delicious.
I'm gonna show it right now.
In its sexy goodness. So we have made the bezel to fit tightly. We've butted the ends together and I've kind of squished it flat because when you fuse, you really kind of need to do that to control the heat. The peak is over to the side though, because I don't really want to like destroy that. It may be a little, a little pressed down, but it's still there. So that we won't have like enormous amounts of reshaping to do. Okay, so I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna pop it in the hot kiln. When you have a small bezel, we usually just do it right on the soldering board, or a charcoal block also works, that's fine. When you start to get something bigger, it gets much harder to have enough heat to get it hot and fuse it. So usually then we do it in the kiln, just like when we're gonna granulate or something, we do this in the kiln. These are little ultralight kilns. They're just like little and cute, but they get up to, I don't know, maybe 1800 degrees. They vary. I would say probably between like 1200 and 1600-ish degrees. But we're judging everything by our eyeballs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not that it has to be like at a certain temperature. Okay? So I've got a nice zero tip on here. Whenever you're fusing bezels,
I love that.
you want a nice sharp, oh, is that a double zero?
Probably.
It is. That's all right. I'm gonna just grab, nope, that's a 1. Technical difficulties, please stand by. All right, there we go.
And that's a 0.
Yep, that's a 0. This is the double 0, which is the smallest that we use here. And for this, I just want a little bigger, a little more robusto. So, okay, nice hissy flame, unlike when you're granulating. So I'm going to use the lid to cast a shadow, and I'm going to use the flame straight up and down, and I'm going to build up the heat. Now, once this gets hot enough that the seam is glowing orange at us, that's when I know it's hot enough that I can get in there and start to fuse. You see how it's starting to glow? Mm-hmm. And now you see how it's easily visible now, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take my flame and I'm going to get in there with the feather tip and start tickling it. See how it gets a little darker and fills in? Now, unlike in fine silver, the seam won't disappear completely. I usually fuse it a few times. And then you see how it's not nearly as bright anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there you go. So in 22, there's always a little bit of cleanup after you fused because there is always, you can still see the original seam. Unlike in fine silver when you fuse and the seam just disappears. So we'll take it out, we'll let it cool, we'll pickle it.
We'll kind of test the seam a little bit. Maybe, you know, we'll reshape and make sure everything is A-okay. Okay? That's it. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, do you want me to like turn it a little bit so you can see it?
Seam.
So you see how like you can see that it's fused, but you can still see, you know, the seam.